Welcome to an exciting episode of My.Na Property. I'm your host, Patricia van Roy, and today we're going to explore a hidden gem here in the heart of Windhoek. We are at Habitat, and we're going to look at all the home decor that you can find to spice up your living area. Because who wants the standard, boring stuff that you find everywhere? We're going to see at the unique stuff, couches, pillows, you name it, decor, centerpieces, and talk a little bit up to the staff, see what they're up to. So if you want to stick around, I highly recommend it. We're going to dive into Habitat. So viewers, now we get to talk a little bit to the manager here and just find out a bit more about what we can do when we walk in. I know when I walked in, I got a very earthy, warm, homey feeling here. But before we dive in, can you just introduce yourself to our viewers?
My name is Janus. I'm the general manager here in the Windhoek branch. I've been here since the branch opened, and if you walk in, the chances are pretty high you're going to find me here.
Like I said, when I walked in here, I got a very homey feeling. You know, I immediately wanted to get into one of the beds and just, close my eyes. But luckily there's a coffee station here as well to keep me awake. How can you describe the day-to-day here at Habitat?
So we're open from 9 to 5 every day, and all of us have our daily tasks that we need to do daily, and it mostly consists of sorting out stock, everything. There's things that sell throughout the day, so we need to manage it and get new stock in and figure out what we're going to do with the new things. Sometimes we receive brand new things off of containers. We import lots and lots of new containers and got lots of new stock. But on the daily, it consists of us just getting the stock that we have here, getting it out, getting it into our clients' homes, and figuring out what to do with the new stock that comes in.
Yeah, so when it comes to the stock that you import, I know you said you guys don't customize because everything as you find it here is how it arrived. But can't I just put in an order with you guys? I mean,
that's where it becomes quite difficult. Our suppliers overseas have a minimum order quantity. So just because you want that table that looks perfect for you, but you wanted it 10 centimeters longer, the supplier tells us, no, if you want to have that table but 10 centimeters longer, you need to order 20. You can't just order one.
So it's not like I can have this one specific mirror.
No,
it needs to be in a batch.
Unfortunately not. Yeah, it needs to be in a batch. And other than that, the other curveball that people usually don't expect is if we had to order something today, it would take about 6 to 8 months to get here.
Sure.
So that's where it becomes complicated.
Yeah, and by the time it gets here, I have changed my mind already
Exactly.
with the type of mirror I want. Now, I've realized that the store is sort of divided into sections.
Yeah.
I found myself quite captivated by the bathroom section because of the sinks. The bathroom sinks, it's very unique. So if you could describe your store, your place in just a simple sentence, how would you describe it if I had to ask you, what can I find here?
Unique furniture pieces at very value for money price points. That's the best way to sum it up into one sentence. We've got things here that you won't see anywhere else in Namibia, we've got tourists coming in every day saying that the things that we have here, they can't find where they're from. And to me, that's always shocking because Europeans and Americans that come in, I expect them to have the best of the best, but then they come in here and say they can't find the things we have here where they're from. So I find that to be quite interesting, and I'm very proud of that as well. We've got very, very unique items here. Like you said, we've got sections, and we've got the bathroom section with interesting basins. All of them are natural. All of them are made from real stones. They're not some synthetic type of thing. All of them are unique, one-of-one pieces. In terms of my favorite section, you mentioned yours, would probably be the new light section. However, that's very biased. We received new stock last week. It's paper mache lights. They're all very, very beautiful. They all have a very nice tone to them. They're all very earthy, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's my personal favorite right now, but it's also my little passion project from recently. So it comes to mind quite easily.
You know, like I said, this place, I wish I could just buy everything. And I wish I could afford everything here. Do you have a passion for home decor? Do you find yourself looking at a piece and just seeing how perfectly this would fit in your personal space?
I think if you asked me 3 years ago, I would have said no. But as I'm working in it, it's growing on me. I think I'm the type of person who, if I can't give you a confident answer and tell you that this is going to look perfectly, I'd rather just be quiet.
Yeah.
But as I'm growing into the business and as I'm learning how decor works perfectly, the answer is yes, I do. I'm starting to develop a passion for it because I'm starting to become more confident in my advice that I'm giving, and I'm starting to think that if this piece and this piece doesn't match, I'm going to tell you it doesn't match. Or if it does match well, I'll tell you, yes, this works perfectly.
You've been here since the very beginning of the opening here. And like you said, you have a branch in Swakop as well.
Yeah.
Your dad is the owner.
Yes.
So obviously you grew up with someone that clearly has a passion for transforming spaces, you know. And like you said, it's growing on you, you know, you're slowly but surely getting into the move of things, and who knows, this might even grow into other stations across the country. But have you ever had a customer come in here and have like the most absurd ideas as to where to put what, and you just had to stand back and be like, you know what, I'm just going to let you dream. There's nothing I can do about this.
Over the course of the past 3 years, I'll be completely honest, we haven't had a very absurd request or a very absurd idea that people came with. Generally, our clients, I think, know what they're doing as well as much as we do, which makes me lose my confidence a bit, because if they think they have the perfect idea, I don't want to oppose that, so I'll just go with it from time to time, unless it's really absurd. But up until now, no, we haven't really gotten any strange requests from people asking for very strange things yet. We've had some strange requests via WhatsApp, not really in person, where people want to do strange things. For example, they told us, but their rug is really dirty and they've had it for a couple of years. Can they take it to the car wash? And we found that very strange. But other than that, no strange things so far.
So you frequently also give tips on how to maintain the products that you buy here?
Yes.
So in that case of the rug, what would be the best advice then?
People want to know that the thing that they're buying has a long lifespan. They don't want to spend money on something that's only going to last 2 months, and that makes absolute sense. My advice depends from product to product. In terms of a rug, there's all sorts of different materials that they're made of. If it's a more synthetic material, it probably lasts a bit longer. If it's a more natural material, like for example jute, it's made of a natural plant fiber, it doesn't really last as long as you'd want it to necessarily, but they all have very different looks, feels and textures. So depending on what your need is, you might take whatever your need is, regardless of how long it will last. And the biggest problem that we've had in Windhoek compared to Swakop is that the climate here is really dry, and wooden products don't really last as well as they do in Swakop.
Yeah, so there you hear it. If you need a rug, you need a new basin, you need a new lights to jazz up the place, you know exactly where to go. But we have so much more exploring to do. Thank you so much for your time. I really learned a lot, and I will be opening up a savings account for this space specifically.
Great.
So viewers, do not move a muscle. We have a lot more in store for today's episode.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
So as I mentioned in our previous section over there, a coffee is a girl's best friend. I know they say diamonds, but it's definitely coffee. And I got myself a nice warm cappuccino over at this lovely coffee counter. So can you tell us a bit about why this is such an important aspect of this place?
So I think coffee is everyone's best friend. I think coffee, most of us are considering ourselves caffeine-dependent life forms.
Definitely.
All of us need a good cup of coffee in the morning. And what makes this coffee area so special is that it is all about the clients. It's not necessarily about
Making money.
making money. Yeah, exactly. It's about just making people feel more cozy, feel more at home when they get here. They get a fresh cup of coffee. If you want to have a cup of coffee, we wanted there to be the option. If you go to any other furniture stores, I don't think many of them will be able to offer you coffee if you ask
In
from.
fact, in many other furniture stores, they tell you to not bring any food in because they're afraid you might mess
spill or mess,
and
yeah,
spill on
yeah,
their
yeah.
stuff. So this is quite nice and refreshing to come into a space like this and be offered a cup of coffee, because what makes you feel more at home than
Than a warm
drinking
cup of
a warm
coffee.
cup of coffee?
And historically, we've had lots of requests from people just coming in and asking, but don't you have coffee? Because often we drink coffee because we need coffee to
function, yeah.
Exactly. So then they see us drinking coffee and they ask, but can't they have a cup? And then eventually we realized, but there is quite a bit of a need for coffee. So we decided to make the whole coffee area. We added the whole thing, and it's been going swimmingly ever since. Especially when decorators come. Decorators come and they bring clients, and then on arrival we can offer them each a cup of coffee, and that also gives the decorator a bit of a time frame in which they can bring the person throughout the whole shop and show them everything. And it's not about just getting in and getting out. I think the client also feels like they need to at least finish their coffee, so that benefits the decorator as
And
well.
it makes you feel a little bit special to know that you went the extra mile to give me a cup of coffee. So I am going to stay and listen to what you have to say. But you also mentioned before the camera started rolling that there is something here behind the counter that we will show you that makes this coffee extra special. Something, a new device of some sort that I can say.
So the device in mind or in question isn't something that we've seen in Namibia elsewhere. We've seen it overseas, but it's not something that we have around here lately or at the moment. It's a capsule machine, or we call it a capsule machine. I think it's called a can sealer in other parts of the world. It's something that you can use to put fresh ingredients inside of a can. So it gives you a can without any top or without a lid, and then you can use that to put ice and berries and all sorts of fresh ingredients on the inside, and then you use the machine to seal it up. And then you have a fresh ingredient, fresh cold drink in a can.
Okay, you can make your own products from home, apparently.
Yeah.
Have you experimented with it?
We have. We've started putting some products inside, like little sweets and chocolates and toys. We use it as some sort of a packaging material, basically. The iced coffees do really well because then you get a fresh iced coffee. That has obviously made sense, and it's been doing really well. But in the future, we plan on experimenting by using our in-store products like small candles and whatnot that we can make inside of it. And we just find it to be an interesting concept, not necessarily the most beautiful idea, but I think everyone considers it interesting if you have whatever you want inside of a can, because everyone asks, how did they get this in here? Meanwhile, we put it in and then close the can.
Well, that is very interesting. I think this is something that really makes this place stand out even more. But viewers, we are almost done, and I have so much exploring to still do. And I have a delicious coffee. Our camera lady also had one. And we will be right back as I go and look at some more of the tables. There is a table here. I think you said it's one of the most expensive items.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest tables we've ever had, and I'm really proud of it. I really like it. I think it has a lot of character, and it is definitely something to see.
So as I mentioned, one of the most beautiful and most expensive item in the store is right behind us. It is the rustic ash dining table. I will not disclose the price. You'll have to come here and see for yourself so that you can fall in love with it and have no choice but to buy it, because this is a beautiful table. But as we said, this place came into existence because of a passion. It came into existence because there was a need for it.
Yeah.
Can you tell our viewers a bit more about why this place and why here?
So Habitat initially started 15 years ago, or 16 years almost, in Swakopmund, because there was a need for the type of products that we have here, the type of feel and the character that each product here has. There wasn't really any of it in the market, especially in Swakopmund, which is a much smaller community. And that's how everything started. We started really small, and just every year it grew bigger and bigger and bigger. We've wanted to come to Windhoek for a very long time, but we've never really had a good location that we felt was
suited for this type
for our character, for the look and feel that we have. We didn't really have a place that suited us. And then now Jenny's place moved out, the arts and crafts store is no longer here. Now we moved in, and it's just beautiful. We love the space. We always get compliments about it as well. Everyone says there couldn't have been a more perfect location for Habitat, and I fully agree.
I also agree. I mean, the surrounding, it kind of all fits in and blends in really well together. I think any other location would have felt out of place.
Yeah.
So I think location plays a very big role. But you said you started off in Swakopmund.
Yeah.
That was, how do the two stores kind of feed off each other, help each other grow? Tell us a bit more about the relationship between the two locations.
So everything is imported, or most of it at least is imported, either from South Africa or from the East. And the harbour plays a really big role in that. So we get everything from the Walvis Bay harbour, and then it gets sent from the harbour to Swakopmund. There they kind of sort through everything. That's our main branch. That's where everything happens. And then the stock that they have there and that gets imported gets sent to us. So the two branches are interconnected completely. We send things from one branch to another every week, every single week. So if there's things that are here that people need there, or there that people need here, we can just send them every single week.
Okay, well, there you know, if you're in the coast and this is your vibe, it's definitely becoming mine, then they have a branch in Swakopmund for all your home decor needs. But then of course we want to know more about the Habitat family, you know, the people that work here, that's here every day, to make sure that our residents here in Windhoek and surrounding areas know what to do, where to do what, and all of that. Can you tell us a bit more about how many people are a part of this wonderful family?
So the Windhoek branch has about 7 employees at this stage. Most of us are floor staff who try to help you with your every beck and call and every need that you might have. And we have staff in the back that you never even see, and they're also just here to make sure that everyone's needs are met. We're all a very young, energetic team of people. We're always happy to help, always keen to help. I think some clients get frustrated with how keen we are to just make sure that everything is okay, make sure that everyone's happy, make sure that whatever you came here for, you walk out with it.
Yeah. So would you say that, might be stretching this a bit, but would you say that all 7 of you are technically now professional decorators, or are we almost there?
So there's a big difference between an interior decorator and people who help you decorate. There's a reason why interior decorators exist, and there's a reason why we have such a good relationship with them as well. I think that all of us are decorators in a sense, that we get surrounded by people asking us decorating questions every day, and I think all of us have a pretty good experience with it. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that, like you said, it's a stretch to call ourselves professional decorators. That might be a bit much.
So if I had to walk in here today and I come to you and I say, listen, I have this big space, empty space, and I have no idea what to do with it. Do you have some sort of list, or let's say, where can I find these decorators? Are you guys people that can help me get in contact with them?
So we've got a good list of decorators that we trust, that we associate with our brand, and that we think that if you do reach out to them, you're in good hands and that they'll be able to help you. But if you're not in the market to get yourself a decorator and you think that you have some knowledge of doing what you need to do and you think that you can trust us, we're also very happy to help. We're keen to help you find the right things for your space. We're keen to help you get the look that you're looking for. And yeah, we're all really happy to help.
Well, there you hear it from the manager himself. If you feel like there is a space or your entire home needs a redo, there's a place for it, there are people for it, always keen to help you in every area. We have one more interview to go, but don't move a muscle because I think this last one might be the most interesting one to come. As I said, this one might be one of my favorite interviews because we're going to dive into your dad, the owner, the founder. He's a busy man. He is very active. I have seen him running around here. So he has appointed his son to talk on his behalf and tell us a bit more about the history, the love, the passion that is Habitat. And I felt no better place than to do it under our paper mache lights, which happens to be your favorite item here in the store. So can you tell us a bit more about who your dad is, what he does, and just how this idea came to flourish into this beautiful, beautiful space?
So my dad is the busiest of bodies. He's the most energetic person you'll ever meet. This morning, while I was busy helping a client at the cash register, she also asked, "Who's the guy who's climbing up the walls?" Yeah, so that's my 60-year-old dad. Extremely energetic, always busy. You can't really catch him in one place for quite a long time. He's everywhere, all over the place. So about my dad, he grew up in Cape Town. When at the very young age of 20-ish, I'm not sure exactly the age, he started an upholstery business with his brother. His brother is still running the same upholstery business for all these years.
Wow.
They're 60 now, yeah. And that's, I think, where the whole passion for home decor and just homey things and products started. They started with upholstery, and then a few years later he met my mom, and then my mom came from Namibia. She's from Ochu, Kamanyap area, and they got a business opportunity to move back to Kamanyap. My dad also said, but he would like to move out of Cape Town. It's a bit too busy. So they moved.
Quite a change of
Yeah,
scenery.
yeah. An extreme change of scenery going from from Cape Town to Kamanyap.
Yeah.
So then they moved from Cape Town there to Kamanyap, and he started a small supermarket there. Everyone there might still remember him from the supermarket. It's
Wow.
In a small town, the supermarket is quite it's the heartbeat of the town. But while we were in Kamanyap, he did joinery, or not joinery, like carpentry in the garage, just as a hobby. He was making little stools and products and tables and things. And then as we grew older, the need arose for him to move out of Ochu into a place with a better school maybe, so we moved to Swakop. When I turned 7 and I went to grade 1 and my brother needed to go to grade 8, we moved to Swakop. And then my dad also took the joinery or carpentry interest that he had and turned it into more of a business instead of it being just a hobby. And again, that just goes back to the upholstery. It's not necessarily that the two are interconnected, but they're all considered interior type of fields.
Yeah, they complement each other.
Yeah, they complement each other. And he did the joinery business for quite a long time, but along the lines he also started Habitat because of the need that arose. And
here we are today?
Here we are today, yeah. So as time went by, the carpentry thing started to consume a lot of time that needed to be spent on Habitat because that was where his true passion was. And over time, the carpentry business then got smaller and smaller, and Habitat got bigger and bigger, and we eventually put all of our eggs in one basket, and Habitat is flourishing.
Yes, and like you said, it all started in Swakopmund. Can you tell us a bit about where your brother is today? Because this Habitat, it's beginning to sound like a family business. So I'm assuming your brother is still involved.
Yes, correct, yes. So my brother is in the Swakopmund branch. You'll find him there as well. He's the branch manager there, just as I'm the branch manager here. And my dad manages the two of us. So he makes sure everything there goes.
I think he has the most difficult job out of all of you.
Yeah.
Well, this is a family business, and with any business, especially a family business, there's a vision. I mean, when you guys started, you probably did not think that you would grow so fast, so big, but it happened. So for the next, where do you see this business going in the next 5 to 10 years from today?
So seeing as we started in Swakop, which is also to a certain extent the lifeblood or the heartbeat of Namibia, people really love Swakopmund. It's the place to be in Decembers, and Windhoek is the business capital of the country. I don't really know where we'd go from here. From here we might go to the north, from here we might go to a different country, might even start branches in South Africa. I'm not quite sure what the next 5 years holds for us. If you asked me 5 years ago, would we have a branch in Windhoek, I'd probably say no. So I have no idea what the next 5 years holds for us, but I'm excited to find out.
Well, with a young, energetic team that you have, I am sure that surprises will come, and there will be great surprises. And I cannot wait to see where these paper mache lights will be ending up next, whether it's in the north, whether it's deep in the south, or whether we go all the way back to Cape Town. We don't know. But thank you so much for your time. And I had so much fun learning about all these different things that I can find here. I have a lot of shopping to do. But thank you once again, and viewers, you know exactly where to find the best home decor items in Windhoek, and then of course in Swakopmund. I am so sad to say goodbye to this place. I wish I could live here. But viewers, this brings us to the end of what seemed to be such an amazing episode. My coffee is done. I might have to ask them for another one because it was so good. But you know where to catch us every Tuesday on DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25, and of course 1up2. That is at 9 p.m. So don't miss a beat and stay in tune, as who knows where properties will end up next.